We know how isolating, exhausting, and sometimes lonely motherhood can be. Let's commiserate together.
Let's face it, our kids and mom life are a beautiful and mysterious new world to navigate, and we need someone to talk to about it.
Let us be your new BFFs. You never know you need it. Until now.
I'm Heather.
I'm Jess, and this is
Just Us Gals.
Mommy.
Welcome to another episode of Just Us Gals with Heather and Jess. Jess, you had the opportunity this week to sit down with your 100-year-old Oma, so we're going to play a little clip from that and chat about it afterwards. But first, how do we like to start things?
Wins and losses of the week.
Jess, how about you? Win,
We need
loss,
sound
what do we
effects.
got? I know, we do.
Okay, I feel like I'm on a roll with losses. Every single episode I have a loss, but is that not motherhood of a 5 and a 3-year-old?
True.
They're winning. They're winning.
Well, you
My
lose.
loss. So here's the thing. I thought that this was going to be a win, Heather. Yesterday, I was like, this is an awesome win. So Emmy, my 5-year-old, she loves to physically abuse her 3-year-old sister. It's
Lovely.
yeah, it's a lot. And I'm kind of beside myself. I don't really know how to deal with it. So yesterday I had the idea of starting a kindness chart.
Okay.
So I'm always like, keep your hands to yourself. I just want to yell, like, keep your hands to your fucking self. But like,
Yeah.
I don't. I just keep your hands to yourself. So like, just sit on your hands. So the kindness chart is essentially don't lay a hand on your sister, and you get a sticker at the end of the day. I said 5 stickers. She negotiated 4. You get 4 stickers in a row. You get a prize from the treasure chest. And of course she goes, you don't have a treasure chest. And I'm like, I can get one.
Yeah.
So
Don't call me
yesterday
out
this was
and be right.
right, exactly, as you always are. Yesterday
Yeah.
this was going really well. And every time she had the opportunity to hit Parker, she would come up to me and tell me that she didn't. And she was so proud of herself. And I'm like, yes, this is working. This is great. This is awesome. Today, she wanted nothing to do with it. She woke up. She's so stubborn, hard-headed. Gotta love her, strong-willed. This will all pay off in life later, but right now
Yeah.
it is difficult. She
Trying.
ran downstairs, put a sticker on the chart. She just doesn't want to comply. And I don't know. We'll see how day 3 goes, but
Yeah,
there was
report
some violence today. Yeah, poor Parker.
Shoot.
So that's my loss.
Does Parker fight back?
She's starting to. Yep. And I'm
Yeah.
trying to explain to her that Parker's learning from her, right? So if we're kind, and we actually have a book. It's about filling people's buckets. So that's a terminology we actually use a lot. Is let's try to fill her bucket, or that's not filling her bucket. Let's not dip from her bucket. And it's in theory it works, but she just doesn't want to fill her bucket. So it's always a nice treat. My 5-year-old, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. One good
Yeah.
day followed by, it's like 1 step forward, 2 steps back.
It literally, yes, sums it up.
Yeah.
Heather, win or loss for you this week?
I think it's like kind of a combo in a sense. Win/loss. Mainly loss, but my youngest.
You just were so reluctant to say that.
I mean,
All right.
I feel like there will be times when I miss this. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I have to
Yeah.
remind myself. My 2-year-old is so obsessed with me that I literally can't get a single thing done. And it's very frustrating for me because I see, like, my husband will say to me, like, she was fine until you came home. And now that you're home, now she's
know
whining
that.
and complaining and up and needs this. And he was like, she was playing by herself in the playroom while I made dinner for the last 45 minutes. And my mind is blown because I don't think she can be apart from me when I'm around for like longer than 30 seconds, it feels like. So and I can't get anything done.
I understand that.
Laundry.
I know that well.
I have no space. But I know there's going to be a time when she wants nothing to do with me, and I'll be thinking, like, remember when you were just so obsessed with me and needed to be, like, sitting on top of me at all times? So a win in the sense that she loves me. A loss in every other aspect of my life.
It's, well, and just for an example. Like I sent the audio of my interview
Yes.
with Oma. It took you a good 24 hours to listen to it
24 hours.
because you couldn't. And today was a
couldn't.
holiday here in Canada. And so, yeah, the kids weren't in school or daycare or anything. And like, no judgment. I know you'll get to it. I know like you're a busy mom. It's funny.
I know.
You
10
just
minutes.
Couldn't.
was
It's a
all I had to
10-minute
do.
clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
You
I
know what
wanted to give
heard?
it time, and I couldn't.
Right.
You know,
It,
like, listen
and
to
like
it.
you said, that will pass.
Yes.
Older parents, multiple parents of older children have told me that 10 years old, they don't want hugs. They don't want anything to do with you.
No.
I know, 10. Our oldest girls
can't.
are halfway there.
That's-
So, I know as hard as it is, let's soak it in because my girls are mama's girls too. But they are past that point, but they are still very, will you carry me upstairs to bed? Both of them. So I'll
Yeah.
just, okay, 2 babies. I call it 2 babies. I hold both
my
babies and
gosh.
walk up the stairs.
How strong are you?
I feel like the Trunchbull sometimes
Yeah. Oh, God.
from Matilda. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It's a good fitness check for me. Can I still do this? Can I not? I
Yeah.
guess they are growing.
That's
so one
full
day I won't
body.
be able to.
That's legs. That's arms. That's nuts.
It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. So okay, we both had losses this week.
Yeah.
Next week we'll see how we do. But
We'll go-
yeah,
hopefully
this
it's better.
episode we actually Sunday we went to visit my Oma Oma is grandmother, Opa is grandfather in German, which you will hear in this clip. She's 100 years old. We just celebrated
That's
her
so
100th
wild
birthday.
to me.
December. I know she was born in 1924.
What I found so mind-blowing with this clip is her memory. Like, it is, I've been listening to a lot of podcasts about dementia prevention, Alzheimer's, and just because it's so common, and to hear how sharp your 100-year-old Oma is incredible. I want to know her secret.
You know what? She, like I said, was born in 1924. A bit of backstory. She and my Opa are both German and Polish. They lived in Poland. I guess the borders were a little murky back then. But they lived through the war there. And then they immigrated both to Canada separately. They didn't know each other yet, but they have very similar stories. They immigrated separately to Canada, and then they eventually met here in Edmonton. And she was a homemaker of her time, right? 60s, 70s. Her kids were born in the 50s. And she grew all her food, and she canned everything. And she, you know, it's just like, it was the epitome of health without trying to be healthy. Nowadays, I think everything's just so processed and fast. And I think we
Fast
just
food,
need to
yeah.
peel back a couple layers. And I'm not saying we don't have time to be homemakers,
I know.
right? But I
Yeah.
think there's something to be said about the simplicity of how life was back then.
Yeah.
So-
And I guess that is just overall, like, so much healthier.
Right,
You know,
because you know exactly
less-
what's in your food.
Yeah. 'Cause you're
But
making
you guys
it.
cook a lot.
We do, but I mean, there's there's so much
Convenience
stuff you even put
still
into
plays a
your
factor.
food too. Yeah, it's
Sauces and
yeah, and I still resort to tons of lunch meat, and that's not good. But
right.
it's pick your battles right now.
Pick your
Like I
battles.
good examples. I just switched to my stainless steel water bottles over my plastic ones, but I'm also still drinking out of a plastic straw. So it's
I
like,
know, that's the thing. And a plastic
I
lid.
can't win. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll do what I can and go from there.
I think another thing for her is she never drove. She never had a license. So she would walk everywhere.
Oh, that's
So I
huge.
think honestly it's just like diet and constant exercise, right?
Yeah.
It's just
moving your body.
Moving your body. Yeah. And she still walks. She uses a walker now just
That's
recently,
incredible.
the last couple of years, and she motors with that thing. But yeah, have a listen to this clip. We were visiting her yesterday at her senior center, and I just thought that, she's 100 years old. Let's take this opportunity to chat motherhood. What was it like for her back then? My 3-year-old wanted to stay with me. My husband took my 5-year-old to visit his grandparents who are in the same center, and Parker understood the assignment. She was quiet as can be. She found a marble. She was playing with it. And then my mom enters. And so there's a little bit of rough rustling and whatnot when she enters, and you'll hear her. She's part of the interview as well towards the end. And I will say, with this interview, we start off a little slow, but correct me if I'm wrong, Heather, but I feel like it just gets stronger and stronger the more she chats and the more she remembers.
It's fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah. So here's a listen to my dear, sweet Oma Elsie. Okay, Oma, how old were you when you became a mom?
I was 30. I married when I was almost 26. And then we decided, I think we have one child. And I was about 30 years old, and Rita came June 1955. She was beautiful. And then I decided one child isn't good. You have to have a second one. And then in 1959, in February, Karen came. And she was at the light. She looked like Opa.
Opa wasn't there when they were born, though, right? Opa went home?
Of course, he was not allowed to be there. And I had difficult labor and difficult births. Rita, they had to pull out with tongues. And they were cruel in those days. But being a mother, you forget all the things that go wrong. But they were beautiful. And I enjoyed being a mother. You raise your children and you love them, show them love, and they turn out okay.
What was the hardest part of being a mom for you?
Actually, we had no dryers. We had no automatic, nothing. It was tough labor, but we enjoyed everything. It was not too much to do.
Do you think back in the 60s was a better time to raise children than now?
Oh, the children have everything now, the modern parents. I think you do a good job too. Children didn't have that plentiful stuff they have now. And I tell you, when I was a little girl, I never had a doll. And somebody brought, one day, there is a doll for you. And I was so excited to show off my doll. And it had a porcelain head. And I ran over to my aunts to show my doll, and I fell and I broke. I broke the head, and I never had another doll before.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that I did get a licking after.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, you should have been slower walking.
Yeah.
So I actually was scared of my mom to do things wrong. There was no big love affair. Children feel the love much more. They couldn't give any love because they were even poorer than we were.
So if you grew up with no love, how did you know to give love to your daughters?
Because I knew better. I did in my inside. I knew that it's wrong. Mm. And I had a wonderful grandmother. And I still remember her prayers she taught me. She was an angel. She taught me so many things.
Like what?
Like how to be, no, don't be mad, don't do this, don't do that. She lived close by, and she was actually more my mother than my mom.
Oh.
My mom was young, but when I was married and had my children, I tried the best to be different. I had Dr. Spock and a book, and I read all those things, what you should do when your children do this or that.
Oh.
So I had a good teacher and a book.
Nice. Perfect. That's good that you wanted to do better.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I wanted my children to have a better life.
Yeah. Do you think kids are more welcome now? Or was it, because I've heard that children are to be seen but not heard.
That's right. Children didn't have all the things they have now. It was tougher, even for rich people. I think children are very lucky now. We loved them, and we raised them the way we thought is right. Because when I was young, I had a very strict upbringing. I had a wonderful dad, but my mom was very strict. Children had to be seen and not heard. But when I had mine, they were allowed to talk. And I taught them to be tidy, and even when they had something that they liked, said, take good care of it. We can't afford another one.
So what would you say is a lesson that your mom passed down to you that you remembered when you were a mom?
Being too strict isn't good. You have to believe and trust your children when they come into the teens. That's a lot of people fail their children because they were too strict. Everything was off limits. But I learned in life being too strict is not a good thing. You have to listen to your children, what they tell you, and then you give them advice. That's all I remember.
Do you remember them ever getting in trouble?
Well, not really. They loved our house because Karen had friends and they came. Oh, Mrs. Pipke, we love your house. It's so nice to be in your house.
So did you try to make your house a welcoming place?
Oh, I love the children come to our house. Instead of running around, keep an open house. Don't say nobody can come. And I mean, you don't have a perfect recipe, but you try the lots of love. And tell them, I love you and I trust you. And you will not disappoint me.
If you lived in a different generation, what would you have liked to do for a job?
A job?
Yeah.
Well, I never had a chance. I wanted to be a dressmaker, but my mom didn't agree to that. Education was always very important to Dad and me because we got shortchanged during the war. So, but we had a lot of life lessons, not school lessons.
What advice would you give to young moms like me?
Be kind and love your children and don't listen to other people. The children are little sponges. They see more than you think.
Did you ever see something mom was doing and not agree with her parenting?
Well, no, she did a good job. Mom did a good job.
Good.
Was there anything for you that, like, did you ever get mad at us and have regrets?
Oh, yeah, all the time. You think you damaged them for life. Sometimes, yes. Because you get angry, you get your buttons pushed to the limit, and then you probably say or scream or something, and then you think, oh my God, I just think I damaged them.
Yeah, but
Don't you
you
ever feel that way?
Oh, yeah.
You were in a different era, and you will be a good mom and guide your children. When you see they do wrong, correct them, but don't judge them.
It's a good one. Yeah,
Very
you can
good.
never judge your children. That's
No, you never
always-
judge your
true.
children.
You always
You
have to be
just
their
love.
fan.
Yes, that's the most important thing. And always tell them, I trust you when you go out. Don't do what others do. You know better than that.
And thank you again, Oma, for chatting with me. That was so much fun and so insightful. And actually, what made me laugh when I was editing it a few times is that she doesn't remember the hard times. Right?
I know.
Oh, it wasn't hard. It's
Yeah.
not hard. You just love your kids. Listen, it is hard. And I have no doubts that she did have hard times. But what's reassuring to me is that she doesn't remember them, right?
She remembers the love.
Exactly.
It's amazing.
That wasn't the focal point of raising her children.
Yeah, is how much love she had for them and gave her kids. And it's I loved it. Loved.
I loved it too. And on that note, I also loved that should we play a drinking game every time we say that word? We take a shot?
I know.
Quick.
I love that idea.
Grab your shot glass. I loved that she broke generational cycles,
Yeah.
right?
It sounded
She
just like
didn't
that.
get much love growing up, but she knew that wasn't right. And she knew she wanted to do better for her children. So she put in the work and she changed the trajectory of, I would say, everybody's life, mine included, right? Because it really does trickle down. So
I think it's
love ya.
interesting to think about that in the sense of like, I think you take a lot away from the way you were raised. And a lot of that is what you would do differently as a parent. And I think I found that I could relate to her in wanting to, and this is the part that I think I appreciated the most of what she said, because it resonated with me, and it's something that I have told myself I really want to be able to do as a parent when I have teenagers, is to trust them, and they know that I trust them. Go do what you need to do. I'm here for you if you need me, because my parents, I feel, were very strict, and I was a very good kid, and it frustrated me to a huge level that they didn't trust me. I never gave them any reason to not trust me, and that is one thing that I have wanted to change for me with my kids, is they know that I trust them, because that is all I wanted so badly. And so when she said that, I was like, oh, I love that. And, believe them, what they say. And I don't know. I thought that was a really good piece of advice that she had to give.
I agree with that. And actually, when she said that, I could recount my mom saying that to me. So,
really?
Again, the trickle down
It
effect,
stayed,
right?
yeah.
So it stayed. And I'm so glad I did this with Oma, because there's something about wisdom from an elderly person, right? They just simplify it.
Yeah.
And it's just, she brought it down to its bare bones, and just, this is how you raise good people,
Yeah.
right? And it's, yeah.
Give them
what I
love.
actually loved what she said. And this is
Love? No.
love. Take a shot.
I know. Sorry.
What I appreciated her saying was to have the house that kids want to come to.
Yes.
Right?
I loved that as well. Love. Oh my goodness. Okay. We need like a thesaurus next to us, just ready to go. It's too much.
It's so true, though, because for me, I have a lot of intrusive thoughts as a mom. And for me, I'm already getting anxious about my kids at other people's houses. Come to my house. I want to have the house that people want to be at. And then I know you're under my roof. I know what you're doing, who you're hanging out with.
Yeah. It's like and then you know that they feel your place is a safe space, a safe place.
Right.
And they want to bring their friends over. So, and then you could be like, I'm not like other moms. I'm a cool mom.
Yeah, serve
everyone's
margaritas
dream.
at 14.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah,
mind if I
totally
do.
normal.
My takeaway from this chat was trust your gut. Right?
That is such
That's
an
what she
important
said. And I think there was actually a clip I cut out just because it was a little convoluted. It was kind of hard to understand. I had to listen to it a couple times to understand what she was saying. But like, I asked if they ever got into trouble, and she said, if they did, I didn't know. And so you can't be mad at something you don't know, right? But they never got
Yeah.
into in trouble to the point of being in danger or being hurt.
Sure.
So,
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Kids will be kids, but bottom line, you got to trust them and know
Yeah.
that your parenting was good enough so that they make good decisions.
Yes. And I think that's important. Trust yourself, too. Like, if you've done everything you can to set them up. And I think maybe it was your mom who said it at the end.
Be their biggest fan.
Yeah, exactly. And so just that they know, you've done everything that you can. You've given them everything that you can give them. And to trust that they're going to take that and go with it, which is super important. The other thing that I kind of was thinking about when I was listening to your Oma was her talking about her relationship with her grandma. How that she was a huge influence in her life, and she felt like that was that love that she needed and got growing up. It kind of just reminded me of a meme that I saw, I think, on Instagram.
Love it.
I know. And it was like, you think you love your kids until you meet your grandchildren. And I thought it was so interesting to think like that grandparent love that they have for their grandchildren is such, I feel that in my family. The way my parents are towards my kids, I'm like, where were these parents when I was growing up? Like,
and there's so many
nuts.
Hilarious reels and TikToks about stuff like that too.
Yeah. And I think like my dad, for instance, he got a tattoo of both my kids' names. Does
No
he
way.
have a tattoo of his kids' names? Nope. No, he doesn't. And we always bug him for it. Yeah,
Dad,
he's
where
like,
did he get it?
it's on the back of his leg. And his plan was he's going to get a balloon for each grandchild. And it was kind of a dark joke that, he got pennies, my kid. And then I had some infertility issues, and we, all my sisters are currently younger, and so it was like, he's only going to have one balloon. So, but now he's got
what a
two.
Loser.
Yeah. Like, who gets one balloon? But, no,
he's so cute.
I know, he loves my girls, and my girls are obsessed with him. They just love him. So I just think that, like, what she said is true. Kids are not true, but, it was just nice to hear that she had that relationship with her grandma. And, like, it makes me kind of excited that one day I'll get to have grandchildren.
Yeah.
And give them all that love, too.
What was interesting about that was, so if she's born in 1924, her mom was young. Like she said, she had a young mom. I think her mom was 18 when she had her. So her mom was also born in the 1900s, like 1902 or something. No, what's the math? Anyways, 1904, 1906, something like that.
Me.
So her mom was born in the 1800s.
Yeah.
And parenting,
Wild.
right? The fundamentals of being a good parent do not change.
Yeah, it's true.
Right? What she learned from somebody born in the 1800s is still the principles that we are using today to try to create good people. I thought that was very cool.
And you know what? It's the word we keep saying that's so important. Love. Love.
Okay,
So.
and there was also another part I cut out of this. It was a story, actually, where, you know how Oma didn't have a doll, and then she broke her doll.
Yes. Oh, that broke my heart.
I know. And then she got a licking for it.
Yeah.
Just, scolded for it, poor Oma.
Yeah.
But my mom, born in 1959, she really wanted a Chatty Cathy for Christmas.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. I feel like I've heard of those.
Yes, the Chatty Cathy. It was all the rage back in the 60s. And so she bought one for her. And it was $25 back then. And I did the conversion. Guess how much that would be now for a doll?
I can't even guess. $100.
$250.
That's nuts.
She was like, it was $25, which was a lot of money back then. And I'm thinking, okay, like dolls are about $25 now, but like does not compute. Like, holy cow. Yeah, so that was a very expensive doll. And like she said, she instilled values in them that, they have to be tidy. They have to take care of their stuff because you only get one of it because it's too expensive to buy another one. And honestly, I think that's something we all need to do too, right? I think this world is too disposable, right? Oh, you break it, you lose it, you get another one. Everything's so cheap, right? But no, like...
I get that. There's been a few moments where Penny has like maybe wrecked something and she'll be like, oh, that's okay, you'll just buy me a new one. And I'm like... I do say that. I have been like, oh, because, if she wrecks something and she's devastated, my response will often be like, oh, it's okay, we'll get you another one, blah, blah, blah. But then I'm like, that's also not the right answer all the time.
Right.
You do have to understand the consequences to your actions. So, and you got to take care of those things that are important to you. I mean, your poor Oma, it wasn't her fault. She was so excited she got it. She ran. She said, that's where I'd be like, I'll get you another one. It's okay. Totally. I also like to think that your Oma got your mom that Chatty Cathy because of how important the doll that she got was to her. She just like remembered that and was like, I need to give my kids that. Which I think is so sweet. She
didn't work, again, 60s homemaker, but she said she chipped in. And so I'm curious to know like how she chipped in, but she wanted to get my mom that doll. Yeah. She wanted to get my mom that doll so bad that she made it happen. And I just, I love it. God bless Oma. She's still going strong at 100. And
good for her. I really am very impressed by her. And like you said, that she was kind of like a mold breaker, you know, with completely going against the way she was kind of raised. The lines with the being seen, not heard, with kids, like that is the opposite of how things are now. Like things are,
and even what she said, like, she's like, my daughters were heard.
Yeah,
which I don't think was very common back then.
No, and I think that goes multi-leveled too. Like seen and not heard is in like, don't be screaming and running around the house, like you're being too loud, blah blah blah. But I also think it goes to, I think it's important to think of like your kids want to feel heard, in the sense of like, I have an opinion too, and
valued,
not just
and important.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And so I like to, I'm sure it's kind of what she was saying as well, being seen and or seen and not heard. Yeah, gotta be heard.
You gotta be heard. Important. You have to feel like you have a place in this family, and
your opinion important. Matters.
Your opinion matters. Yeah,
exactly.
Which doesn't matter quick what 10-minute clip, but so many takeaways from it.
I know, and I will use some of that in keep in the back of my head and when it comes to my parenting.
Same. I love that she touched on the teenage years as well. She had 2 teenage daughters, so
yeah, which we're going to be having fun with in a few years from now. I'm a little nervous
about it already. Yeah.
I can't even think about it. So, gotta take things day by day and not stress about what is inevitable.
There's something, we did an episode with the hilarious Bailey Sheets on So I Had a Baby, Now What? And I didn't say this, but one thing that I wasn't expecting about becoming a mom was how, this is going to sound so dumb, but how much work it is to put in every single day. It's, for example, Emmy had a play date with one of her kindergarten friends today, and she wasn't playing very nice. She wasn't playing the way that she probably should have. She wasn't really sharing. She wasn't loving her friends' ideas, and everything is a lesson. Every single thing needs to be taught. Do you know what I mean?
I know. It's like, I know what you mean.
I was looking forward to her having a play date because it would give me a little bit of time, because the girls just go off and play. But like, there was a little bit of micromanaging here, and we right? Like she wasn't having fun with her friend, so I had to kind of pull her aside and actually call her sourpuss. I'm like, why are you being a sourpuss right now in the corner? Like,
something you think
like,
in
talk
your
to
head.
Me.
Yeah, and in your head you're like, okay, play date. She knows how to play. Check. And now it's like, okay, now turns out that there is constant guiding.
Constant guiding.
Yeah.
And I mean, girl's only 5, but like, check. Just, you know how to play. Nope. Think again.
No. Apparently, play dates aren't just a check sometimes. You know, like, it is exhausting. It's something new all the time.
All the time. All the time. But yeah, it's nice to hear that Oma's fundamentals are she just gave them love and she had fun with them, and she just loved watching them grow up. And I think so, it's all over Instagram. When you ask, it's like a trend, you ask an old person what their favorite part of being a parent was, and it was the early years. And off the record, or I wasn't recording, but she did say her favorite part was watching them grow up. So the early years. So that's Heather, we got to embrace this.
I know.
Embrace the chaos.
And we are. Yes. We are. I do. Remind myself.
We just can't get carried away. What's that?
I said I remind myself it every day when things are tough. I'm like,
looping back to your loss today.
Yeah, exactly. That's you know what actually helped get me through some of the really tough newborn stage was I saw a post that said when you're having a really tough time, just think that there is going to be a point in your life where you would give anything to come back to this moment. And I'd be like holding a newborn baby who just is up for the 5th time that night or whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired. And then just reminding myself, like, but I get to hold my newborn baby right now. And it's a short time. Everything is just a season.
They're going to
It'll
be gone
done
before you know it.
And that little bit of wisdom like helped get me through a lot of that stuff. I was just reminding myself that.
I think that's short. That's great. Anything, right? Mm-hmm. Like, but, I have to lay with my girls at bedtime every single night for them to fall asleep. And I know they're tired, but they just need to wind down. And as soon as they let themselves calm down, they're out like a light. But it's frustrating just waiting for that moment, especially when the kitchen is, like, my husband works away a lot. So, like, the kitchen needs cleaning. Usually when I'm putting the girls to bed, he'll do that. But if he's not home, I know there's, like, a laundry list of chores that need to be done. So I just need to remind myself that it won't be like this for long. Isn't that a song? It like literally makes me cry every time I hear it. It's so sad. Because it's true. But it won't be like this for long, right? Those moments are going to go away, and I'm going to want them back. So we just got to enjoy it.
Hug your kids tighter when they're up.
Hug your kids a little tighter.
Yeah. They are sweet little angels and terrors all at the same time.
All wrapped into a sweet little bundle.
Yeah. And hey, maybe you will be 100 years old and your great-grandchildren will be carrying on Just Us Gals and interviewing you for the podcast.
Only can hope. That is the hope.
That's the dream.
That's the dream.
Pass on the legacy.
What is it? 65 years from now will I be 100? Is that the
Don't ask me to do math this time of night.
If I'm 35 now, 65 plus 65 is 100?
I think so, because 60 plus 40 is 100. So we're saying yes.
Yeah, we're gonna say yes.
Yeah, we're gonna say that's right.
Can't be on Mathletes for that one.
No, it's too late to do that.
Okay, well, if you made it this far, thank you so much. Please follow us on our channels. Our Instagram handle is Just Us Gals Podcast. We'd love to hear from you as well at Heather. What's our email?
It is chatwiththegals@gmail.com.
So knew please you reach out.
Know.
We want to hear what's going on in your life. What are some wins and losses going on with you? What are some struggles you're dealing with? Let's commiserate together. We're all in this together. If you have a problem, we have the problem. We had the problem. We will have the problem, and other listeners are having it too. So let's chat. Chat with the gals.
We love that.
At gmail.com.
gmail.com. And thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.